Everyone, hope you guys are having a good day. It's February 27th, and today I'm back here in the Nerd video. Today we're going to be talking about more upcoming severe weather chances across the south, even some of the Ohio Valley, and we're also going to be talking about pretty much our next big storm, or next major storm system, which a lot has changed since yesterday's video with that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So today we did have a marginal in eastern Oklahoma, northern Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, northwestern Tennessee, western Kentucky, and southern Illinois and southwestern Indiana. We had a 5% wind and a 5% hail. But tomorrow is looking pretty interesting. We have a very large marginal from central, or actually almost western Texas, all the way up in the extreme southern Ohio and southwestern West Virginia. Yesterday this was just a general thunderstorm, but now it is a large marginal, and we have a 2% tornado risk and a 5 hail, but the hail threat is mainly limited to the south part of the risk, and the wind threat, it goes from northeast Texas all the way into southern Ohio and southwestern West Virginia. And then for day 3, just have a general thunderstorm risk along the Gulf Coast. Now, we'll start looking at tomorrow, so we're going to be looking at the 00Z, HRRR, and right now we're just going to look at forecast reflectivity. So, at around 2 to 3, around 3 p.m., we have storms initiate in southeast Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, and then those move east, and actually form maybe a pretty strong line as they get into Tennessee, Kentucky, northern Arkansas, even all the way down into northeast Texas. We can see pretty strong storms, and those move east. But once they get into areas like central Alabama and Georgia, they die out. But the whole line dies out really once it gets there. But we can see a pretty large area could get affected by these storms. And the HRRR, at least, is showing pretty significant storms in this area. Now, let's look at some of the ingredients for this. So let's look at mixed layer Cape first. And let's go out to tomorrow when we have our event. Now, we actually do have decent Cape in this area, surprisingly. We haven't really had that much recently, but we do have 1,900 Cape, maybe even almost 2,000 ml Cape in Texas in front of that part of the line. And so that's pretty decent energy for storms. And then all the way up in the southern Illinois, we have Cape of around almost 1,000 in some areas. So plenty, or not plenty, but enough energy tomorrow to support a pretty strong line of storms. And we can also look at things like storm relative velocity 0 to 3 kilometer. And alright, that was weird. Okay. But yeah, we can see we have not a ton of it. Definitely not the highest I've ever seen. Never even close, but we do have a decent amount of it in this area. But we're gonna take some soundings now. Yeah, so we're gonna take some soundings in front of the line. That's what I like to do. So first off, let's start by taking one in southeastern Oklahoma in front of this when it first initiates. And let's see what we have. Alright, so plenty of moisture. I have a 67 degree dew point. So that's actually very good. Shear is pretty bad. Lower levels, it's okay, I guess. And we do have 1,158 ml Cape, so that's not bad. And yeah, so let's take it for areas like in northeastern Arkansas in front of that part of the line. 66 dew point. This is a little bit capped though, but we still have that around 1,000 Cape in that area. And the HRRR actually maybe shows some supercells developing, maybe in Texas. So let's take a sounding in front of those. So they are a little bit capped, which can sometimes help to keep storms more discreet. But capping can also, of course, limit storms. That's all they can get. But look at ML Cape here with this sounding. This sounding is, of course, more capped than the other ones, but we have 1,200 ML Cape. That's pretty decent. Shear is okay once again, not perfect shear at all. And yeah, let's take it once it gets further into Tennessee. Let's take it right to the south of Nashville now. That is heavily capped. We don't have a lot of energy with that. Still may be enough to support a squall line. Just not a significantly strong one. But, yeah, that's pretty capped. And lastly, we're going to take a sounding for... Sorry about that. I'm going to take a sounding for right here. 67-degree dew point. That's pretty good. 524 ml cape. Once again, not a lot of cape with that sounding. But yeah, so let's go away from severe weather now and talk about the flooding risk, because we're gonna continue to have a lot of heavy rain across the southeast and the south in the next couple days, and even areas of the Ohio Valley. We can see here the excessive rain outlook for day 1. This is actually for tonight. We do have a slight risk for excessive rainfall, so kind of flash flooding. We have a slight risk for that in southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and northwestern Kentucky. And then tomorrow we have a bigger one that goes all the way from extreme northeastern Texas into almost southern PA. And then on day 3, so this is now Monday, we have a marginal in areas of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. And yeah, so now let's talk about our next big storm system, because this has changed a lot in yesterday's video. Well, now this is a new change. The first one, the GFS is now showing a decent or pretty strong looking storm system over the southeast Tuesday and Wednesday. And yeah, it has it more strong than it was last night. A lot more strong and kind of more isolated. Yeah, I can see brings a lot of heavy rain to the southeast. Now, severe weather with that we will have to see. It will likely be limited to areas of South Alabama, South Georgia, southern South Carolina, and Florida. So not too far north, unless the low in the warm sector can get far enough north for severe weather. And the major cities like Birmingham, Atlanta, I don't think we're going to see that with this storm system. And yeah, so remember we had a pretty strong storm system, which the GFS doesn't even have that existing anymore. Has a little bit of a low trying to form, doesn't even get closed off. Just brings some showers, maybe a little bit of mountain snow showers, but nothing bad. Now the European is a little bit different. Now let's talk about this difference first. So we're gonna go back to the second and the third. The European does have this storm system a decent amount different than the GFS. Sorry, it has the low a little bit further to the north, tracking across like central Alabama, central Georgia, and the central South Carolina, and has some more mountain snow and sleet and freezing rain in areas of Virginia. Then that moves to the northeast. It actually strengthens once it gets into eastern North Carolina on the outer banks. But once again, we'll have to see about severe weather with that storm system. And the European has our next one, which the GFS just had a little bit of showers in Texas, not even getting closed off. European has it moving across the south, starting in Texas, moving east, southeast, and moving into the southeast, bringing a lot more heavy rain in areas that don't need it, especially up in Tennessee in that area. And then it moves off the coast, and there's just a little bit of cold air on the backside of this from this 1031 high right here, which is just supplying just enough cold air for maybe some snow to mix in North Carolina. Now, this is pretty unlikely at this point due to confidence, because the GFS shows a story nothing like this. And we can also look at the Canadian model real quick, and see what that has going on. All right, so the Canadian, it has that low a lot further to the south, from the second to the third, has it almost in North Florida. And then it agrees more with the European. Actually, it does have a little bit more cold air. It has a little bit of a stronger high pressure, but it has it in kind of the same area, maybe a little bit further to the west. We do have a little bit more cold air though, so we have snow even in the central South Carolina with that. Now we're gonna have to keep an eye on this, and I will be keeping an eye, and I will update you guys every day. But this Canadian has that. Wow, it's pretty significant once it moves off the coast. But yeah, right now snow for North Carolina, South Carolina, that area, that's unlikely, because of confidence and how far out this is. Once we get closer to it, we'll have to see. Maybe something could happen. It's pretty unlikely though. But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. But yes, bye.